everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the league here in Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Bears going up against the Texans. With that, let's get on over to Houston as we're proud to introduce our new broadcast team for 2016, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Good luck, fellas.
Larry, it is indeed an honor to be here. Thank you as we welcome the rest of you inside NRG Stadium here in Houston. Today, the opener of the 2016 NFL season between the Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans. The partner, the Bears, coming off a 6-10 season. Meanwhile, the Texans, last year AFC South champions, but an ugly wild card round loss.
Not a lot of fun in that game. That wasn't their best, and we're talking about Houston. So they fortified themselves in the offseason and increased their roster. They think they're the team to beat in their division. And flip it over to the Bears. They're trying to get back.
It's the dawn of a new era for us at EA Sports as the 2016 NFL season is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
No question at all about his talent, and that's been on display since his first game as a starter at Florida State. On a Monday night, the whole country watching, he only missed 2 passes in the entire game and led his team to a big victory and later a national championship as a freshman.
He hits Jermaine Kearse. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
On second down, rolls. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Jameis to throw it. It's brought in right side by Ginn.
Holding offense.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Back deep is Doug Baldwin. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. So here are the Texans now with a long field ahead. They'll be led out by a man in his 9th year already out of Boston College. It's Matt Ryan.
And there's no way that Matt Ryan is ultimately happy about what happened in 2015. His lowest touchdown total since his rookie season. He's rededicated and looking for a bounce-back season.
They come out here in the eye. Back after missing 9 games last year, here's Carlos Hyde. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
Allen's got it over the middle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
3rd down now following the completed pass. They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he'll get this up only to about the 22. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Sproles, the return. A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. First down, Winston. This is caught by Ginn. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And that's the kind of pass that adds up over time, Brandon. You may not have picked up a first down there, but if you keep chipping away at it, eventually big plays may result.
Counterplay, Rawls. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Time running out here on the play clock. They go play action here on first down. And Winston lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Now Ryan Suckup will come on and try the field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And Suckup will put this one right through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So they had great field position, but a 3-play drive that actually goes backwards, and then they kick the field goal.
And I think the key sequence in there, the key phrase you just gave us, a 3-play drive. Had the momentum, great field position, unable to move the football.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. They start on the ground with Rawls. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 on the gain there. And it'll be first down Bears. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 3-0 is our score. We're back to Houston in just a moment.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
2nd down, Winston. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. A big run that time by Rawls. 41 yards on the ground. And look at that. I'd say somebody's already in mid-season form here in game number 1.
Doesn't need a whole lot of carries in the preseason, does he? He needs to get the ball when it counts. And when it does, he makes it count.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
How about the defense not hanging their heads from the previous play where they were beat for a big run, came back on the very next down, and made a play defensively that was to their credit.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with third and just a couple. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down. Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
And now out comes Houston. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed. They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch. The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on third down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. Now it's Ryan. Out to the flat for Hyde. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Houston after this timeout. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. Hyde, the lone man in the backfield. Now Ryan on first down. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. To throw again is Ryan. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Now it's Baldwin. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you on over to Orlando where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA halftime report. Let's look back now at this closely contested first half. Both the Texans and the Bears are having some trouble moving the ball through the air. The yardage totals are low, and that's helped play into what was a low-scoring first half. All right, let's roll those highlights. Third down, inches to go. He'll take the run up the middle. He'll pick up more than 30 yards on the play. Bears would go on to kick a field goal. So that's it for us. We'll go back now to Houston for the start of the second half.
Okay, thank you, Larry. A low-scoring affair, all even, as we ready for this second half. To return, this is Doug Baldwin. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. The third quarter begins with a run by Hyde. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Ready, ready.
On second down, Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked, and they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So many times tight games decided by one big play. And a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Hyde, the lone man in the backfield. He's going to get the football. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
Hey, we got 3 down. Ready, back 25.
On second down, here's Ryan. He hits Baldwin right side. That throw good for only a couple and brings up third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the looking for Baldwin, intercepted. And some room to work. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that, the rookie gets his first interception.
You have to have guys who can limit the other team's number of plays run and possessions. And no better way than an interception. And what a great way to break into the league.
First and goal here from the 9. This is Rawls. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
Partner, when it's a goal-to-go situation, if you're on the field on defense, you have to know that you may be called on to make a tackle at any time. Here, the cornerback does exactly that. Plays the run really well and makes a big play.
Again, it's Rawls. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it. Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And Crosby puts it through, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So the defense gets the pick. The offense, Charles, they go backwards, but they do get 3 points.
Very happy to get the 3, but you know who's happier? The defensive team on the other side. They shut them down after the turnover.
Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll try to fire up the running game with Hyde. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain, and it's second down.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
They run it again with Hyde. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. On 3rd down, Ryan. And he's got Moncrief. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. They go play action now. Ryan. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
It's a pickup of 21, and it'll give the Texans a first down. Fresh set of downs here.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
This will be caught at about the 3. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And tough starting field position here.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. He'll get the football here. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The play clock's running down. Here's Rawls. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. A nickelback added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Jameis to throw it. He's got Curse. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Double tight, double tight. 3 down, 3 down. Ready, move ready. 58, 58, 58.
The busy afternoon continues for Rawls. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play.
3 down, 3 down. Let's go now. Wait.
They stay on the ground. Rawls again. And he'll be brought down. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. First down, this is Rawls. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now hang on here, timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, little 360.
Oh,
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. good, solid yardage, you'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Bears defense now back out onto the field. They've played a great game. I guess the only thing they would really have hoped for other than this outcome would have been a shutout, but they've got a lot to hang their hat on.
They really do, and you don't get that very often anyway. A shutout is really elusive. So they'll take this one, just a dominant performance where they were doing the dictating. Think about the guys on offense, though. What a frustrating day. They're going to have to do some.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Trey Boston, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They will take the knee, and it means a great start to their 2016 campaign, a win here in Week 1. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, Week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Chicago, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Houston, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.